Dude, narcissists are so fucking weird, man. So fucking weird. It's like trying to use reason or understanding to get at like what kind of warped ass shit is in their head is. It's an exercise in futility, but it's all we got, in so many cases. But this thing, it's like the idealized value where they put people up on a pedestal, like verbally, just so that they can yank the rug out from under them and watch them like splat on the ground, because that's what gives them pleasure, is like harming other people. The longer term structure of the relationship, if you're with them for any period of time, it's so fucking bizarre. It's like they hate people with absolute like gut-wrenching intensity. They hate people, and my guess is primarily because of envy and jealousy, because they know that other people experience love and that they won't and never can, because of their choices, because of their decision to, quite literally in many cases, sell their soul to the devil, like get rid of the human soul and let demons infest them and inhabit them instead. But it's like they hate other people so much. However, when they're getting their hooks into somebody, they mimic them and mirror them and act like them and pretend that they are them. And then oftentimes, in the longer term picture, when they're at the phase where they're committing lots of crimes and sometimes like all the way up to the, attempting to unalive their victims, they'll spend weeks, months, years trying to get the other person to wear their suit, trying to get the other person to pretend, say, admit, break character, to do something indicating that they have switched roles with that person, that they're the good guy now, that they're the innocent, that they're the victim, oftentimes with vulnerable narcissists and female narcissists. That's kind of the go-to, is like, oh, I'm the victim. And they'll be trying to pretend that the other person is, or at least frame things in such a way that this other person is like attacking them and doing something to them, and coming up with this whole fucking litany of crimes and things that are not connected with the real world in any way, shape, or form. And it's something that only a criminal could even think up. It's just freaking wild, man. It's so freaking wild, having gone through this. And if you've gone through it multiple times, or like if you're in a situation with like multiple narcs and borderlines and psychopaths, and they're all doing some form of this, where they're like, ganging up on trying to take down the actual victim of their crimes. Sometimes it's their children and their grandchildren, and doing everything in their power, everything against reason, everything against reality, to try to get their victim to wear their suit and their personality and their list of crimes. Because in the world of, toxic, emotionally non-functional, non-existent, emotionally non-existent individuals, people without empathy wiring, aka narcs, borderlines, psychopaths, etc., the cluster B disorders, that there's only a couple of roles that exist that can be played. There's the hero, the villain, and the victim, because everything is about crimes and power and hurting others and getting away with it. And so in reality land, where the other 85 or 90% of us inhabit, it's obviously much more complex than that. There's a whole beautiful rainbow of reality happening out here. But to them, it's like every situation, every relationship is some version of hero, villain, victim. And they constantly, repeatedly, sometimes 100 times within a conversation, in a total break with reality, will be bouncing themselves back and forth between these hero and victim, hero, victim, hero, victim. So whoever the other party is, there's only one existence that person could possibly fulfill, and that's the villain. So no matter what's actually happening, and no matter what their story is, and no matter how fucking insane it is to anybody with a fucking speck of sanity in their head, they're the good guy, they're the victim, they're saving everybody, and you're the bad guy, however that has to look. It's absolutely wild, man. If you haven't ever experienced this, God bless you. I hope you don't have to. But for those who have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you can spend months, years, decades on the receiving end of this, pulling your fucking hair out. Like, what in God's name is this person talking about? Where are they coming up with all of this shit? Why can't they remember what they said 30 seconds ago, 2 minutes ago, an hour ago? Why are they playing the exact opposite role of what they were just playing a few minutes ago? Well, sometimes it's unconscious, but a lot of times it's by design. That's where like word salad and gaslighting and all this other stuff comes in, because they need other people to buy into their version of reality, no matter how far from actual reality it is. The further it is from reality, in fact, the more desperate they get to have other people buy into it. And that's why these people are always surrounded by chaos and destruction. All of their relationships are based on triangulation, getting people to fight, getting people against each other, getting people to sometimes collaborate in crimes with them against innocent people based on some bullshit that they came up with and are spreading around, you know, including to police, judges, lawyers, etc. They have there's no boundaries that they will stay within outside of fear. You know, if they're afraid that they're going to get caught up and have to go to jail, or that they might get hurt or killed, that's the only boundary that they will respect. And a lot, you know, you never really know what that is for any of them in particular. But it's just crazy. That's why relationships with these characters can't ever work. There is no relationship. There's no person there. It's a basket of personas and ideas about how relationships are or should be, and it's always villain, victim, hero. And they're the victim and they're the hero. And that might change 100 times in a fucking day. So if you're dealing with one, good luck. Get yourself out of there ASAP. If you share kids with one, God bless you. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm trying to untangle one of those myself. But unfortunately, the criminal justice system, mental health system, the legal system, they don't know what these are. So it's a big part of my work. That's a big part of my work too. Anyways, dude, God bless you. God bless you, humans, dude. This is a rough time. It's a rough time to be alive, but I think the real heroes in this equation, and obviously it's not black and white, but those of us that are choosing to dig deep and do the work and step up and embrace this opportunity to bring a new humanity in by healing ourselves first and foremost and turning everything over to God. And everything that we can't fix and everything that we can't change, turning that over to God and doing this daily. Like that's, to me, that's the real hero's work. It takes an impossible amount of strength and courage to do this on an even like semi-regular basis, especially if you're surrounded by these characters. If you grew up with it, if it's your whole family, if it's your whole town, if you're living in a small town, my God, dude, not an easy journey, not an easy freaking journey. I might have had something else, but it's gone now. Love you guys.